See, now that is some interesting information on the express delivery industry. Still, I can't help but feel that both FedEx and UPS differentiate themselves in some way. Now that we understand corporate level strategies aimed at growth, what are the business level strategies that are being employed?
Why would you want to know about that?
Monica, Michael, when did y'all get here?
Not long. We heard the conversation walking back from the beach. You guys were getting pretty loud.
Well, it's an interesting topic. Apparently so.
So what's important about the business level strategy between UPS and FedEx?
The corporate level strategy should set the tone for the business, but the business level strategy is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
So why is it important?
The business level strategy? Let's focus on UPS and FedEx since the Postal Service has a mandated monopoly on first-class mail. UPS was formed as a ground service from the beginning. While it augmented its operations to include air logistics with the acquisition of Blue Label Air in 1952, it only started offering its next-day air services in 1982. Contrast that to FedEx, which included air freight in its logistics from the very start of service. So, once both companies were fully operational, UPS focused primarily on ground service, while FedEx made its largest strides in the air. FedEx's business-level strategy also included the rapid adoption of technology, especially the computer. In 1979, FedEx became the first courier to adopt a computer-aided logistics system which helped to more accurately route packages. This use of technology allowed FedEx to reduce cost and gain significant market share throughout the 1980s. FedEx has consistently been a pioneer in the use of technology, even to a fault. In 1984, FedEx launched a fax service called ZapMail to expedite document shipping. ZapMail was a colossal failure, as the new fax technology was not only crude, but unreliable. This would not sway FedEx. FedEx continued to expand its operations through leveraging technologies focused on routing, tracking, real-time, and online customer notifications, as well as printing. FedEx was even the first courier to adopt green technologies by using a fleet of hybrid electric transport trucks. Even with the great strides that FedEx has made, when it has to be ground, it has to be brown. Between the two, UPS's niche is its ground operations. UPS's savvy investing in its logistics has enabled it to keep ahead of FedEx. But the major reason for UPS dominance is its organizational structure for its ground service employees. UPS drivers are employees of the company. FedEx drivers are primarily contractors. This makes a large difference when it comes down to satisfaction, as employees are generally more scrutinized when it comes to customer service. Even UPS's motto of, "What can Brown do for you?" is customer friendly. That's not to say that FedEx isn't customer friendly, but UPS has been perceived to be more customer centric, while FedEx has been viewed as more efficient, if not robotic. Both of these companies continue to duel for market share over both land and air. What will determine sustainability will be both of these companies' adoption of newer technologies like green tech, RFID, and other customer-centric and web-enabled technologies. What do you think? Anyway, I'll be traveling to Sydney next week. I'll stay there for a few weeks before I come back to LA.
I'll meet you in LA when you come back. So what flight are you coming in on?
Oceanic Flight 815. We also know what the business level and corporate level strategies are for UPS and FedEx.
I think in order to be successful, all industry players have to focus on their success while working on their weaknesses.
I agree. Any idea what those strengths and weaknesses might be?
Are you ready for your presentation?
Yeah, I think so. I've been preparing for a while.
So what's the gist of your presentation?
I'm focusing on the strengths and the weaknesses of UPS and FedEx in relation to the express delivery industry. Check it out.
All right, so we've already discussed some of the strengths and weaknesses of both UPS and FedEx. Both companies, while very different, have a few similar approaches to the market. This is why neither company is completely dominant over the other as a whole. So let's relate this to Porter's value chain. It should be obvious that the core strengths of both UPS and FedEx are its operations, inbound logistics, and outbound logistics. Neither of these companies would be very successful without mastering these primary activities. In a very close second, both of these companies have been strong in the technology development support activity. While UPS has been slower than FedEx at adopting technology, both companies have strong IT departments and both companies leverage technology to reduce costs. Marketing and sales for both of these companies are fairly strong in the domestic and international markets. Both UPS and FedEx have excellent brand recognition domestically. UPS lags behind FedEx in the international market, but still has a relatively strong presence. Both UPS and FedEx score well on customer service. Both companies have been able to use the internet as a way to enhance the customer experience. With that said, both companies have room for opportunity here. Both companies face customer issues from time to time, but when shipments cross international borders, these problems tend to increase. UPS and FedEx need to meet customer expectations on this front. Human resources is somewhat of a toss-up. FedEx has been rated 97th in Fortune magazine's top 100 companies to work for. Considering the tens of thousands of companies out there, that's pretty good. UPS, on the other hand, has run into labor and union issues in the past. Still, UPS is regarded as a good place to work. The biggest opportunities for improvement in both companies are found within the infrastructure. While both UPS and FedEx are major players in many of the international markets, neither company has been able to take majority share of any foreign market. Furthermore, neither company is considered a growth company domestically. This area is where both UPS and FedEx need to focus on if they want to increase shareholder value.
Well, it sounds like you're prepared. So, are we on Tuesday?
Yes, and then Los Angeles on the following Thursday.
I think this was productive. I think we all learned quite a bit. We learned a lot about UPS and FedEx. We also learned about some of their competition from large companies like USPS and DHL. We learned about external forces challenging the industry, such as high fuel prices and digital substitutes. We learned a lot about how both UPS and FedEx push each other with their varying corporate level strategies. We also learned more about how both UPS and FedEx operate using their business level strategies. Finally, we learned about the different strengths and weaknesses of UPS and FedEx. Still, UPS, FedEx, and the rest of the express delivery industry face many challenges in the future. What I want to know is, which one is better suited for long-term success? So, which one?